This is me, talking to a Superman actor and gearing up to ask him one of the biggest questions I had after seeing the new Superman movie. What does Superman mean to you? But why that question? And why this actor? Well, leading up to this film, I saw a lot of discussions online that I think boiled down to the identity of Superman. And I'm not talking about Clark Kent. I'm talking about who Superman is as a character. What does he represent? If you're a fan of Man of Steel and the Snyderverse, you might have a slightly different answer than if you're a fan of the new iteration with David Corenswet and James Gunn. I recently made a couple of posts asking people what Superman meant to them, and you all gave some good responses. But what would the actors and filmmakers say to this? How different would their answers be compared to answers given by fans? To find out, I knew I needed to talk to them myself. And after seeing the new Superman film, there was one person in particular who stood out to me. A person who I thought might have a unique perspective on the character of Superman. And after walking out of the theater, I knew he was the best person to answer my question. If you've seen the movie, you might have guessed that I'm talking about Molly, a falafel vendor who is ultimately killed by Lex Luthor simply because he once showed kindness to Superman. Molly's sacrifice ends up inspiring Metamorpho to help Superman escape and ultimately take down Lex Luthor. And so when I got the chance to interview Dinesh Thyagarajan, the actor behind Molly, I knew I had to ask him what Superman meant to him. And I wondered how his answer would compare to the answers of Superman fans. But before I got to that question, I was curious what led to Dinesh's portrayal of the heroic Molly.
Just a little bit about me, like I was born in South India, okay, and I grew up watching Superman. So Superman is the ray of hope. Superman is for people who are oppressed. Superman is for people who are like downtrodden, like a normal people. And this character is a falafel vendor, so obviously he's also a normal guy. I can resonate myself with that, like it came very handy, like all I have to do is like just portray myself because I'm also a Superman fan.
Dinesh didn't have a ton of screen time as Molly, but the scenes he's in are very memorable. I think he stands out as a different kind of hero, an ordinary person who looked death in the face with no superpowers to back him up. He's the kind of everyday hero that I think often gets overlooked in superhero films. I mentioned this to Dinesh because I wanted to know his perspective. Your character has this unique role where he is, I think, one of the most heroic characters, just because he has no superpowers or anything, and he's willing to really put his life on the line and tell Superman, hey, don't tell him anything. I think that takes a lot of bravery, and compared to the superheroes, because he has obviously no powers. I'm wondering if there's something that you hope people remember specifically about your character going forward.
Marley's character is a very noble character. Okay, and he has seen he's on street every time, so he have seen like Superman have saved so many people, and he's more like a celestial being, like an icon. So this is the way of showing gratitude for Superman. He died, he took bullet because that's the ultimatum of gratitude is giving your own life. That's what Molly did. And that really motivates Metamorpho. Like he sees the real Superman. So I think that's why he helps him. So that's what it is all about.
Superman as a celestial being. It's really interesting to hear that from Dinesh. And I think he's right. To any normal citizen in the DC world, metahumans, especially Superman, would probably be seen in this way. It was cool to hear one of the actors talk about Superman from that perspective. But now, I needed to ask Dinesh my ultimate question. The question some of you have already answered. How would his answer compare? And I know you've kind of talked a little bit about this, but I'm just curious, what does Superman mean to you?
Superman is a ray of hope. He's a person who stands for people, kind-hearted. He stands for goodness, righteousness. No matter what color you are, what religion you are, or which country you're from. Superman is for good people, and he'll definitely be a villain to bad people. So it's an icon, So when you truly trust Superman, you also want to do righteousness, like you want to also be kind, you also want to be good. It changes people's perspective. So that's what Superman is all about. It's about doing good.